What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we've got One Piece news. We got a new magazine promo, and I'm a sucker for magazine promos, and I don't care who knows it. We've got, kind of another magazine promo, actually, although I will admit a little bit less exciting. We've got some new cards coming that have been revealed from the starter deck, including a new super rare and one which I think it might be worth getting a little bit excited about. And frankly, it's all looking yellow and it's all looking fun. So let's start off having a little bit of a look at the magazine promo that was revealed just a couple hours before I recorded this video. It's Sanji. Now, it's going to be included in the March issue of V-Jump magazine over in Japan, and that is coming out on the 21st of January. Good luck to all you lovely ladies and gentlemen if you are searching for this one. V-Jump, when they've got a One Piece promo in V-Jump, it tends to sell out like super quickly. They tend to be quite awkward to get hold of. Remember, Luffy was a V-Jump promo? That was promo 6. Smoker was a more recent V-Jump promo. Well, now, ladies and gentlemen, now we got ourselves another V-Jump promo. And if I could be so bold as to suggest, I think this one might be a bit of a pain to get hold of as well. So good luck to anyone that's going to be trying to do so. What do we have here? I actually translated this one legit all by myself, and I'm very excited. Free cost, 4,000 power, counter plus 1,000. Also, I think we've had some really good magazine promos, to be fair, but this is definitely up there. And what we've got is Don X1 during your turn. If you have 2 or fewer characters on your field, this character gains 2,000 power. I like this. I legit really like this. Firstly, it's free cost, so it's nice and low. That's a very good thing. But also, this is great for those turns where everything's going wrong. Your opponent goes after all of your characters. That's a bit of a pain. All of a sudden, you've got a free cost 6,000 power character. Remember, a vanilla character, what we would generally expect here is free cost 5,000 power. We've seen this for a while now. Vanilla characters are fairly straightforward. You get yourself 2 more power than cost. So free cost is 5,000 power. Hence, free cost 6,000 power. Very good thing. We like this. We like this very much indeed. So yeah, this is just pretty gosh darn cool. Do remember it's Don X1, so you got to attach one Don to do this. So at that point, you're going to be 7,000 power. Most leaders have 5,000 power. So that means that essentially, your opponent's going to need to counter 3,000 just to stop your attack going through. If they counter 2,000 to go up to 7, remember a tie will go to the attacker. So your opponent needs to get over 6,000, needs to get up to 7 to stop it. I really like this. I think this is pretty cool. Now, what the tweet they sent out does actually say it's a card that goes well with the start deck Big Mum Pirates. Now remember, starter deck 7, Big Mum Pirates, that is the debut of Yellow in the One Piece TCG. And we've not seen that many cards from it, which means our knowledge of Yellow so far is quite limited. But I'm going to believe the official Twitter when they tell me it goes nicely with it. Now, we have seen the leader, Charlotte Lin here. When attacking, you can add a card from the top or bottom of your life to your hand. If your life is 2 or less, you can place 1 card from your life at the top of your life area. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you here, ladies and gentlemen. This doesn't really seem to fit with Sanji at all. There doesn't seem to be any natural synergy here, but maybe there will be with the rest of the deck. Speaking of the rest of the deck, we have seen Charlotte Lin, the character, the super rare character. Remember, every starter deck has 2 cards that are designated as super rares. And you get 2 copies of them, and they're foiled like super rares, and they are lovely. And what we've got here is 7 cost, 8,000 power, so you're talking more of a late game character. Now, I did do a bit of translation myself, but shout out to Helio and Hibiki, I think, from the Discord. And I'll be honest with you, I did check my translation with theirs as I went. So we've got 7 cost, 8,000 power, and on play, your opponent chooses one of the following. Either they trash a life from the top of their life. That's bad. Remember, when you run out of your 5 life, usually 4 for dual color leaders, Or, I suppose, 6 for Edward Newgate. But if you run out of your life and you get attacked and the attack goes through, you lose the game. So you do not want to pick up a life. That's a bad thing. Or put 1 card from the top of your deck on top of your life area. As in yours. So either your opponent loses a life, or you gain a life. I mean, it's not the same effect, but either way, it gets your opponent kind of 1 life further away from winning. And this decision is going to basically depend on where the game is going. If your opponent is very happy with their offensive output in the game, then they're just going to let you have an extra life because they know they can take it off. Whereas if your opponent is worried about your offensive output, then they're going to take away 1 of your life so that they can get towards winning a little bit quicker. So it really does depend where the game is going, what the decks look like. It's very much going to be a game-by-game decision. And it is up to your opponent. So against a good player, they're always going to make sure they choose the one which is most annoying for you. And yeah, that's a bit of a pain, I suppose. But still, This is good. Either you gain a life or your opponent loses a life. Either way, you are noticeably closer to winning the game. That's a good thing, ladies and gentlemen. That's a very good thing. What is also a very cool thing, we're getting another stage. We haven't seen many stages as it stands. And only Purple have had more than 1 stage. I think all colours do finally have a stage, which is quite nice. But it took a while, ladies and gentlemen. It took a while. No, wait, Lions, you red also have 2 stages. But they had in the first starter decks, which gives them an advantage. My point is, we've not got a lot of stages. Yellow gets their stage here. And this translates something along the lines of, what we're looking at, Queen Mama Chanter, which I'm assuming is the name of the ship. Let's go for that. That sounds about right. And what we've got is a 2 cost, and you've got an activate main, rest this stage. You may add 1 card from the top or bottom of your life to your hand. Place up to 1 of your characters that costs 3 on top of your opponent's life area, face up. Now, we kind of saw this with Charlotte as well. And that is, you're taking cards out of your life. And then taking cards out of your life is generally a bad thing. Because when you take cards out of your life, as I explained, your opponent is closer to winning the game. That is not necessarily a good thing. Do please bear that in mind. But you're also getting a card advantage. So yellow is really very much a case, or at least seems to be a case of, okay, how many of my life can I take without losing, so that I can put myself in a position where I can win later on. But then you also place 1 of your characters that cost 3 on top of your owner's life area face up. Which means that you're giving them an extra life, I'm fairly sure. Which is not ideal. But then again, what you can do is play a 3 cost character with a trigger, for instance. Oh yeah, that could be fun now, couldn't it? Now, I don't think we've actually seen many of these, unfortunately. But, you know, there's going to be some eventually. And this could be fun. This could be a pretty cool card. Because, I mean, you have to take out your opponent's life. And you have to give them an extra life. But then you're playing a character for free. I kind of like that, ladies and gentlemen. I kind of like that. And then the standard trigger of just play this card. Okay. It's a weird kind of stage, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure I quite get it yet. But I don't think I quite get yellow yet. And I don't mean that as a bad thing. And I don't mean that as an I don't understand the One Piece TCG. I mean that as a we've seen very few yellow cards. Oh, actually, tell a lie, I did show you the other day. I showed you a 3 cost yellow card, not from the starter deck. It was from OPO3. But I showed you Charlotte Perospero, which is a 3 cost character with a trigger. Exactly, that you discard a card from your hand and play it for free. You do have to discard a card from your hand, though, which is a bit sad. But this is the kind of character you would want to put on top of your opponent's life, so that when you take a life, you essentially get to play this for free. That's a very good thing indeed. And it's not a card we've actually taken a look at yet, but we did have Charlotte Brûlée that was revealed a little while ago. And this one doesn't actually take much translating at all. I'm literally translating it on the fly. 3 cost, 1,000 power, counter plus 1,000. and it's got blocker, and as a trigger, you can play this card. That's what I mean about not needing to, not needing to spend a huge amount of time translating it. It's fairly obvious, that one. But what is really cool, this is another character that you would want to put on top of your opponent's life. Then you take a life, you play this for free, and you've actually got a blocker that you've got into play for free. That's a pretty good thing, ladies and gentlemen. But do be careful taking all your life all of the time, yeah? And actually, while we're here, there are a couple of other yellow cards that have been revealed that we might as well have a little bit of a look at. We've got Charlotte Katakuri, which is the other super rare from the starter deck. 4 cost, 6,000 power. And on play, you look at up to 1 card from the top of either player's life and place it back at the top or the bottom. And again, that's fairly simple, yeah? Because you can then stack what's on the top. If you've got a good character with trigger on the top, you leave it there. But if your opponent's got a character with trigger, maybe you take it away. It lets you, to a very limited extent, like we see with Charlotte the leader, to a very limited extent, it lets you manipulate your life. But then if you have fewer life than your opponent, this character gains rush for the turn. So now we've got a 4 cost, 6,000 power rusher. And this is what I mean about not really understanding yellow yet. We need to see more yellow cards. Because you see all of these cards that are like, hey, pick up your life. And you're like, well, hang on a second, mate. If I pick up all my life, I'm going to lose. Not necessarily loving this. But then by the same token, you've got cards like this that get rushed when you've got fewer life remaining. And it's clearly going to be an awkward thing. And it's clearly going to take a lot of, careful play and skillful play. But then you're going to end up in a situation where you've got cheap, powerful rushers, but you're not actually losing the game because you have been very careful not to put yourself in a position where you will lose the game. And that, ladies and gentlemen, that sounds very nice to me indeed. And since there's only been one other yellow card that has actually been officially revealed, I figure we might as well have a little bit of a look at that one while we're here as well. Because why not, ladies and gentlemen? Why not? Now, it is a 2-cost card, and it's, shall we say, probably not quite as exciting as the rest. What we've got here is Charlotte Pudding, and we've got 2 cost, 3,000 power, counter plus 2,000. We need some counter plus 2,000 now, don't we? And this is going to sound a little bit familiar. Look at the top card on play of either yours or your opponent's life, and then put it back at the top or at the bottom. So again, just to a certain degree, manipulating the life. But bearing in mind, if you've got multiple skills that let you look at your opponent's life, and then either leave it there or not, same with your own, there's going to come a point where you can just strand you with a good card on top of your life and your opponent with a bad card, and that's a good thing, ladies and gentlemen. That's a very good thing indeed. And that's actually 6 new yellow cards. Did not mean to look at that many in this video, but I don't know, we got on a roll and we just kept going. The last thing we do need to have a little bit of a chat about here is another kind of magazine promo. Now, it's actually not coming in a magazine per se. It's coming in Jump Giga 2023 Winter, which I believe is a manga, not a magazine, but it's the same kind of thing. And it's an alternate art reprint of a character that we've already seen. It's from the Red Starter deck. It is Nefeltari Vivi. I am watching One Piece. I'm catching up, all right? I'm getting there. 2 cost, 4,000 power, counter plus 1,000. It's your standard, like I said earlier, it's your standard, just vanilla character. It's fine. If you want this card, you want it for the artwork. For me, it actually doesn't have a promo number. I have got a collection going of Japanese numbered promos, and it's going quite well. So I'm going to have to pick up a copy of Sanji, because it's a numbered promo. It's promo 34. Yeah, they're already up to 34. It's going to get silly. I don't need a copy of this one because it is just an alternate art. But I do like buying Japanese stuff to practice my reading. So if I can find this cheaply enough, I will get it. But whereas the Sanji, I am going to go out of my way to pick up a copy of this, even if I pay slightly over the odds. This one, nah. I'm good, ladies and gentlemen. I'm all right. For now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you think about all of these yellow cards and anything else we've talked about, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about One Piece and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel You can get some bonus podcasts. You can join a Discord and chat with us. You can, do basically whatever you want. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.